Thank you, Faye. Good afternoon, everyone. A wonderful sight at St James's Park, winning a first domestic trophy in 70 years and qualifying for the biggest competition in European football. If Eddie Howe and Newcastle had dreamed of much more back in August, I'd be very surprised. But here they stand on the brink of completing a remarkable dream double and making Howe only the 5th English manager to achieve 2 top 4 finishes in the Premier League. A win is all it will take today. Anything less and a reliance on results elsewhere will have the Geordies jittering. A final day of the season with no worries for Everton is very welcome. A bright new future lies ahead as they move from Goodison. The euphoria, tears and celebrations of last weekend's final home game are still a memory. Under David Moyes, our points tally since his first win is the 5th highest in the Premier League, but with several players out of contract, a big summer awaits alongside the move to a new home. Yesterday it was the red and white half of Tyneside that was celebrating return to the Championship. Today, can the black and white half secure a return to the Champions League? Let's have a look at the two teams for you. Start with Newcastle United. Alexander Isak is back. It's the only change from the game against Arsenal. Nick Pope is in goal. Cher, Botman and Byrne the back three. Murphy and Livramento the wing backs. Gimaresh and Tonali in central midfield, with Barnes and Gordon supporting Isak up top. Dubravka, Trippier, Lascelles, Wilson, Kraft, Asula, Willett, Longstaff and Miley are on the bench today for Eddie Howe's side. 4 changes today for Everton. Jordan Pickford, the former Sunderland player and Sunderland fan, in goal. A back 4, final appearance in an Everton shirt for Ashley Young at right back, alongside Keane and O'Brien, the 2 centre-halves, and Mikolenko, who will play at left back today. The midfield 2 are the same. Garner and Gay will patrol that area for David Moyes' side. And then the tough couple of changes up the field see Harrison coming on the right, Alcaraz in the 10, and Ndiaye will play on that left-hand side with Beto up top for Everton. Virginia, Begovic, Patterson, McNeil, Calvert-Lewin, Decore on his final appearance for the club, Chimiti, Roja and Walsh are the substitutes for David Moyes' side. Tony Harrington is the man in charge, and on VAR duty today, God help that we'll need him, is Paul Tierney. It is some atmosphere in St James's Park, and it looks like Everton are turning Newcastle round, which has brought the booze out from the St James's Park faithful. Alongside me today is the former Premier League striker Troy Deeney. And as atmospheres go, it doesn't get much better than this, does it?
No, not at all. I want to hear the reception that Pickford gets now. Just go to the Everton end.
Yeah, he's away to the Gallagher end, away to our right-hand side. Not the loveliest of welcomes from the home supporters, that's for sure, for Jordan Pickford. Saved the penalty, of course, when these sides met back in October. That day. The equation, though, very simple today here on TalkSport 2 for Newcastle United. A victory and Champions Gini's alongside me, chuckling away at the grief that Pickford's getting away to our right-hand side.
I'm just looking at the fact that Jordan plays up to it. He loves it. It takes, for as much as he's a great goalkeeper, the level of mental strength that he shows is fantastic.
First touch of the game for Isak as Newcastle get this underway, kicking towards the Gallagher in this opening 45 minutes, and they immediately have a throw down the right-hand side, which Barnes will take short, and it goes to Cher, who's just inside the Newcastle half. Gimaresh is closed down by Odrissagay, and on that left-hand side, and Byrne with that 33. Largely emblazoned across the back of his shirt, gets it forward to Livramento, who leaves the ball down to Anthony Gordon, who's a little bit out of form at the moment. He loses possession. The chance here maybe for Alcaraz inside the centre circle for Everton, and they come forward down this left-hand side. Mikolenko is there. Alcaraz slightly frustrated by the lack of support and options available to him, and in the end Everton forced back inside their own half.
It's already a good start though from Everton, isn't it, in terms of intensity and getting after it. Showing that their game, their warm-up suggested that they wasn't so game, but this is what happens when you to play with a bit of freedom. This is the most passes I've seen Everton play on the floor in probably 5 years.
They have, if the most wrong part Premier League this season, which probably doesn't come as a great surprise, but they've lost possession here. Gimaresh onto Barnes. Barnes down the right-hand side, gets to the byline, has support from Murphy. Murphy on this right-hand side. Ball. Ashley Young with the Eventually at the edge of the 6-yard box to get it clear, and a couple of ricochets, and then Tony Harrington gets in the way of Sandro Tonali, but Newcastle keep the ball left hand side. Livramento has it, and out there wide with him is Isak, as he so often is. Tonali then outside to Livramento, continues his run right by the corner flag. Tonali still going, gets the crossover towards the back post. Murphy just doesn't bother to jump for it, allows it to go over his head. Clever play from Jacob Murphy, gets the ball back to Shearer, and Newcastle camped in and around the Everton penalty area. First foul and shove of the game from Alcaraz on Guimaraes, and it's about 25 yards out from goal. He wants to take it short, but it's been pulled back a little further. It'll be about 30 yards out, just on the right edge of the penalty area.
Just as they got down this right hand side, a little ball down the side to Harvey Barnes. Isak wanted it fizzed across because he knew he was going to get there. He's just come over and had a little chat with Harvey Barnes, but I think Jacob Murphy just gets in his way, which slows him up, which he then thinks the chance is gone. But Isak just showing what a true striker is. Goes to his wings and say, hey, when I'm in there, put that ball in the box. They didn't have that last week. Maybe that played a little effect into Barnes' decision making, but I guarantee he'll put the next one across.
2.5 minutes on the clock. Free kick here for Newcastle. Tonali will just leave it to the right foot of Murphy, who swings it in, and it's headed away and has to be headed away by Mikalenko, and he puts it behind for a corner to Newcastle away to our right hand side. Tonali stepping across to take it. We are 3 minutes into the game, and the noise is unwavering inside St James's Park. Here's Tonali on this right hand side. Murphy is an option short. He's obviously taken the free kick short moments ago. This time round you feel though that Tonali may go more direct. It's low in towards the near post. He was, I think, looking for Barnes, who was being held and marshalled well by Mikalenko, but they've won the loose ball again here, Newcastle, down the right hand side. Back to Tonali on this near side, and then loses out in the end to the challenge of Idrissa Gueye, and he's on a run now and has got Alcaraz with him. Harrison's on the sprint down the right hand side, and he has the ball still at his feet. Helped on his way to Alcaraz, and then maybe a little foul as it's better, but the free kick has been given, and I think the foul on Alcaraz, should I say, just towards the edge of the Newcastle penalty area, gets punished by Tony Harrington.
Yeah, he just clips the heels of Bruno Guimaraes as he tried to run past him, and inadvertently, but it is a foul. It's a good spot from the referee. Everton look game though, don't they, when they go forward, Adam? They're just in position now. What a ball.
It is that picks out Isak on that far. Isak ball at foot. Footed from O'Brien. Comes to Anthony Gordon, who hits one from a whole 30 yards. And it just floats over the top of Jordan Pickford's goal away to our right hand side.
Just as I was saying there, the movement of Isak is so good. I wish every young player gets to study him. You know, now we have even a target man or somebody that, like Haaland, who doesn't really touch the ball till he scores. He did everything really well. He comes short, brings the two Everton centre-backs with him, and just spins into the space. As soon as he gets up, sets it back. Gordon probably could take a touch, but got a little bit of blood rushing to the head. Again, when Isak's in the team versus when he's not in the team, it's completely different to how Newcastle play. They will need to go and find another striker, like probably everybody at this moment in time. The strikers is what's desperate for them. But if he's injured, there's not many people that can do what he does, so they need a replacement. So they can't just keep putting hard balls through the middle.
Yeah, Callum Wilson, as we mentioned earlier, hasn't scored for over a year in the injury issues. He started 2 games in the Premier League this season, but he's been a sub 15 times and has failed to hit the target. 33 years of age now as well, the former Bournemouth man, so this is an area they will need to strengthen, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe there's an agreement in place, isn't there, between the two.
There's a ball towards Isak, intercepted by Idrissa Gueye.
Yeah, sorry, I believe there's just in case people don't know who's got the ball, Pickford, just in case you can hear all of that. But I think there's an agreement with Callum Wilson and the club in regards to 1 more year potentially being taken up. But I think for Callum, with the market being the way it is, I'd go and play, go and get paid somewhere. He could probably go to an Everton with all the changes that they're having.
Yeah, injuries have always been an issue for Callum Wilson for sure. Throw taken short here by Murphy for Newcastle down this right hand side. 6 minutes. You listen to Talk Sport 2. It's the final day of the Premier League season. Anthony Gordon is fouled on that far side by Ashley Young, forever getting himself in strife. And a little late challenge on Gordon on that far side gives the free kick for Newcastle, about 20 yards in and half.
Lucky to not get a yellow there, actually. Quite a bit of pressure on him. It's a little bit high on the tackle, but thankfully for Ashley Younger, Gordon gets up and doesn't make too much of a meal out of it.
Murphy again down this right hand side. This is the Livramento is the furthest player forward, but it's gathered by Jordan Pickford again away to our right hand side. All in green today. Jordan Pickford, the short sleeves, will have been sharing and celebrating in Sunderland's success yesterday, and could he kick off a wonderful weekend for himself if he could keep a clean sheet here today and deny Newcastle a place in the Champions League, I'm sure. Tonali penalised time on Ilman Ndiaye, and it will be a free kick for Everton, and Mykolenko will deliver this, and as ever, as you'd expect from a David Moyes side, set pieces will be a real danger.
Yeah, and they've got some big boys on the team as well. Beto, Keane, and weirdly they tried to take it. Just watching David Moyes down below. Gardner tried to take it quick and kicked it straight through to the keeper. And just watching David Moyes, hand on the head, going, what is going on?
Mykolenko with the back pass to Jordan Pickford, who did well under the pressure of Alexander Isak, that time inside his 6-yard area. No goals anywhere else in the Premier League so far this afternoon, and we are almost 8 minutes in, but now away down this left-hand side is Garner. In the middle waiting for it. Garner takes a couple of extra touches, then pulls it back straight to the feet of Livramento down this right-hand side, and now Gimares is out by Alcaraz, and that will be a free kick for Newcastle.
That's excellent play from Dan Burn. Again, Everton playing really well. Starts with Jordan Pickford, ball gets fired back into him. Calm enough just to play the lines and get him out on the half turn. But when they put that ball down the side for Gardner, who's in, it's 2v1 in Everton's favour. Dan Burn goes towards the ball and then backs off, and just makes Joe Gardner have to take another step. And then with that step, it allows for the Newcastle players to get back. Really good defending. But Everton are game. I'm just watching Dan Fabian Schär's very frustrated with the way that they're playing. He feels that Jacob Murphy needs to get back and be a little bit more tighter when they don't have the ball, because obviously they play a 3-5-2, but you've got two different types of players. At right wing back you've got a winger, Jacob Murphy. At left wing back you've got a full back who knows how to tuck in, and Schär's just being exposed a little bit here and he's not too happy.
Tonali out wide to the left hand side, Gordon's there, Livramento's on the overlap, back to Gordon again off the angle of the penalty area, left hand side for Newcastle United. Tonali, 5 yards right. The chance to bring it clear, lays the ball out. Schär, who comes across and puts the ball into touch, and it will be a throw. It's on this near side, and David Moyes constantly telling his players just to calm down.
he's probably standing there from a position of, we can showcase just how good of a footballing team we actually are. I think with Everton over the last 4 or 5 years, it's always been talking about how they go long, they're hard to beat. You're actually seeing a good style of play here today from Everton.
Trophy lift today at Anfield, of course, for Liverpool, but looks like Palace are being the party poopers. I'll tell you about that goal in a moment. Here's Beto. Beto tries to tee that one up for Ndiaye, gets the shot away, and it's blocked again. Beto looked like he was chasing a lost cause between two Newcastle defenders, but he got there first, and in the end Ndiaye's shot is blocked. They still have it though on the far side. Harrison gets it forward into the feet of Garner. Back to Harrison again, 35 yards out, clips the ball into the box for Ndiaye, but it's over his head and out for a goal kick to Newcastle. Yes, Ismaila 4-0 at Crystal Palace 1 at Anfield as things stand. Here's Troy Deeney.
I'm really buzzing that Isma scored as well, actually. Another colleague of mine who scored. Clearly they all get better when they leave me. That's what I'm taking the credit for. I hear you say
that the other week.
I'm just looking at this Newcastle team. We spoke about it in the build-up with Faye about intensity. I just wonder whether they've got caught up in thinking this is job done already, and they were expecting a bit of a party. And it is really difficult to then up your game again. They need something. Maybe it's a goal, maybe it's a tackle, but they need something to just get this place going again, because the crowd's got a little bit nervous very quickly.
Just when you talk about shape and Schär not being particularly happy. But obviously most of that success this season has come with a flat back four, but because that injury to Trippier was forced into the change and then stuck in it. Here's Njai, brilliant run, he's got the better of Murphy, and another example of how Murphy can be exposed defensively as Alcaraz shoots from about 25 yards out, and he'll wish he hadn't, because that was well wide.
Yeah, just looking at them on the pitch now, Shah is literally talking to Murphy, Tonali's now talking to Murphy. They clearly identified that this right hand side is an issue. They're going to have to deal with that very quickly. They do have Kieran Trippier on the bench who they could put in and go back to that flat back four that you was talking about. But I think they just want to be better with the ball. They've got no control at this moment in time for Newcastle. There's no build-up of play from the goalkeeper. It's going long into Isak, which is probably one of his strengths, his game. But he's not going to win the ball over O'Brien or Michael Keane any time soon. So Newcastle just need to be a little bit better with the ball and a little bit more aggressive in the press, because at the minute it's just people getting off the back of runners all day.
It's worth remembering Newcastle were 12th in mid-December. They've won 7 of that last 10 in the Premier League. Only Aston Villa have won more of those games. It's created this charge towards a Champions League place, but they haven't beaten Everton in the last 3. And they need to put that to bed today if they're going to be sure of that place in the Champions League. Although as things stand, all of the key games involved in qualification for the Champions League and Europe remain 0-0 as things stand. The only goal, that goal from Ismail Assar for Crystal Palace against Liverpool. A reminder right now over on Talk Sport, you can listen to Manchester United against Aston Villa as Villa try to secure a Champions League spot. And on Talk right now you can listen to Fulham against Manchester City, but the best thing to do is probably get the Talk Sport app, get it downloaded, and you can flick between the games and follow the story throughout the afternoon. That's a delightful ball from Cher. Anthony Gordon's got there. It's well defended though in the end from Jack Harrison, but he has got his side a corner.
It's a great ball from Cher from this right back position, just hit a lovely diag, pinged it across into the channel. Because of the run of Livramento, it made Ashley Young come inside and it left a 1v1 with Gordon and Harrison down that side. And obviously we know Harrison's not known for his defending, but did really well there. Do want to give a quick mention to all the travelling Everton fans, making great noise up here as well. Sold out by the looks of it.
They are up in that top tier as ever. They've been had the perfect view of the flag waving that was going on in the tiers below them. They really are up with the gods today. We had almost 14 minutes here. You're listening to Talk Sport 2. Newcastle 0, Everton 0. Jacob Murphy with a corner for Newcastle on that far side in front of the Gallagate end. He gets it back from Gordon, then out to Tonali. Tonali tries to deliver, and Idrissa Gueye blocks it and puts it out for a throw on that far side to Newcastle.
They planned something there because Isak was on the edge of the box. So they wanted the little 1-2 out to Tonali, and then the block was on the far hand side for Isak to become around the back post. Just didn't get the passes right. I think that sums up where Newcastle are. All the ideas are right, just the execution and the mental fortitude to be locked in and ready for this game hasn't quite happened in the first 15 minutes.
Isak a little frustrated. He's in space on this near side and wanted the ball from Pope, which never arrived, and it will be a throw-in instead on this left-hand side for Everton midway inside their own half. Mikalenko gets it back short from Njai, then goes forward towards halfway, but Cher is there, and Guimaraes will spread play to Dan Burn on that left-hand side. Livramento is in an advanced position on that far touchline, taking on Harrison. Cuts inside Livramento, still going, but good challenge again, this time from Ashley Young. And they win it back, Everton, at the edge of their own penalty area. And Harrison and Young combine nicely that time with O'Brien. And now Beto's on the charge, trying to get the better of Botman. And Botman, from all of about 25 yards out from his own goal, concedes the corner.
Again, he gets mentioned every now and again, but Ashley Young, what is he, 38, 39 right now? Yes, playing wonderfully at right back again. Reading the game exceptionally well, wins the ball back, gets it, has a simple pass inside if he wants to, but no, goes forward, puts a lovely ball down the channel, says to Beto, you go and chase that. Beto does that, gets across, nicks it off Botman, goes out for a corner as you said, but really good play from Ashley Young there in the right back position. On his way after 2 years at Everton. In his last 15 appearances, 13 have been from the bench, so a rare second start today. Has left-footed that ball, he swung towards the back post. Pope watches it go, and in the end, I think the final touch was got by Garner, but it may have already gone out of play, so it will be a goal kick for Newcastle away to our left-hand side. You're listening to Newcastle against Everton on TalkSport 2 with Sky Sports. Watch the Premier League final day before the countdown begins to a huge new season
where Sky Sports have at least 215 live games, up from 128 subscription required. It remains 0-0 in the northeast under blue skies, and it's with Share. Don't let that fool you though, we've had squally showers and everything. It's kind of all 4 seasons in one day today up here in Newcastle. Here's Byrne down that left-hand side. Oh, does well. Good feet to get away from Gay. And now he's got Gordon going outside him. Lovely weighted pass as well. Brilliant cross towards the back post, but again, he's just not got the angle right on it. It's just floated over the crossbar and onto the roof of the net as Murphy was coming round the back, and it'll be Pickford who will have the latest goal kick away to our right-hand side. Reminding all the key games, it remains goalless. It's just Liverpool 0, Palace 1 as things stand elsewhere.
Really good play for Newcastle, go down that left-hand side. You have got to target Ashley Young. For as much as you're giving him credit, you have got an Anthony Gordon who is known for his pace and his power, going up against an aged Ashley Young, so you want to get him 1v1 as many times as you can. But I just feel that Bruno Guimaraes now just going after Everton, trying to spark some life into the players and into this fan base.
And it certainly is, as that's cleared away by the left foot this time, away to our right-hand side of Pickford, and it's been put into touch by Botman. And again, I think Idrissa Gueye just asking for Beto to turn and be ready to receive that ball. Spurs are leading against Brighton by a goal to 0. Dominic Solanke left out the England squad, but he's on target for Spurs this afternoon. Brighton, of course, trying to sneak into that 8th spot as we wait to find out whether that will be a European place or not, depending on what happens on Wednesday night live on TalkSport. And of course the final of the Conference League, Chelsea against Real Betis. Here come Everton again, and it is Gay once more who lays the ball infield towards the feet of Alcaraz, who pirouettes, holds on to it, has the support of Garner, then goes wide to this left-hand side where Mikalenko is waiting off the angle of the penalty area. In short to the feet of Njai, who scored 2 goals, of course, against Southampton last week. Tonali is in there to win the ball, though. Good challenge from Tonali. Now striding away from Alcaraz. Just checks his run as Alcaraz was alongside him. Goes for a second time towards the corner flag. Gets the cross in. Pickford comes and he punches it away as far as Guimaraes, edge of the penalty area for Newcastle United. He's closed out that time by Garner. Forced wide to the right. Tonali once more has the ball at his feet. Looks for support. Again, it's Guimaraes, and it will be back to Share.
Wonderful play from Tonali, isn't it? Sets the press, wins the press. Could have come back 2 or 3 times, but just drives 40, 50 yards up the pitch. Gets to the right hand side, you're thinking, right, they're going to try and win a corner, but he doesn't. Whips a delightful ball in. And if it weren't for Pickford, that was Isak having a header 6 yards out.
Here is Isak wide on that left-hand side for Newcastle, into the feet of Gordon at the edge of the box. Isak continued his run. Harrison intercepts the pass, and it's away once more on that far side by Gay up to Beto, who's really working hard, is Beto, and he gives it back to Ashley Young midway inside his own half. And now here comes Harrison, and David Moyes is waving both his hands in the air as it comes down once more to Keane on this near side and to Mikalenko.
How good is Beto? Sorry.
Yeah, no, he's been excellent. He's been excellent so far, and Jai has set Mikalenko away down this left-hand side, targeting Murphy once more. Murphy does well this time though, gets it to Pope, who's closed down by Beto, slices his clearance in the air, doesn't get much distance on it at all. It's won by Garner, and then Mikalenko tries to keep it in on this near side, but it goes out of play, and it remains 0-0 after almost 20 minutes. As a player, if your manager's waving his arms in the air in quite the manner that David Moyes is, do you see that? Do you take notice of it?
If you're looking at the manager during the game, you're not knowing what you're doing anyway, so sometimes obviously the manager will be screaming, but I think that more to just like calm down, and I think it's more of an expression now to let the fan base know what's going on, as opposed to trying to get that message across to the players. But I think when you look at Everton and the transformation under David Moyes, I think that is summed up perfectly by Beto. I think he's been excellent. He looks like he's got superpowers. He's running stronger, his link-up plays miles better, and obviously he scored more goals than he did under Sean Dyche. So really, really interested to see how he develops, just as he does wonderfully well there again. Ball played into him, controls it, turns away from Botman, and I think that's Guimaraes has to bring him down, but he just looks quicker, sharper, and like he's got loads more confidence.
He started 14 of the last 16 games for Everton, and it shows so far this season. 8 goals to his name, 9 of course for Iliman Ndiaye, and between them keeping Calvert-Lewin, who's obviously had another injury-prone campaign out of this Everton side. What the future holds for him, who knows. Here's the free kick then for Everton. It's about 30 yards out from goal. Alcaraz is there, Harrison's there too, as Brentford take the lead against Wolves. Brandon Burmo is the goal scorer for Brentford. There's a surprise, that's him into 20 for the season.
Yeah, there's 20 for the season now, yeah.
Fantastic performance, and talk of course that potentially he may well be a target for Manchester United. Here's Alcaraz, who fizzes that one, and Pope goes low down to his right hand side and makes the save. It's one of those that was dipping, probably has arrived at Pope, and he did well.
Yeah, it's a good save. Just watching the replay, it's more or less at him. It looked better from our position than it does actually on the screens. It's one he has to save. Newcastle fans getting very, very frustrated, very animated with how many times Newcastle turning the ball over. This time Gordon just on there trying to do a 1-2 with Livramento, plays it behind him out of play. I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie Howe changes formation or even looks at trying to do something at half time if it continues like this, because this is on for Everton to nick a goal. It just feels like it's coming.
And here is Garner coming forward again for Everton. Wants the free kick, but there's alleged that Anthony Gordon did that fairly. And now Barnes will have it down this right-hand side. Murphy goes ahead of him once more. Barnes still going, and he hit a pass through for the run of Isak, but way too much on it. And it's gathered up easily by Pickford at the edge of his 6-yard box.
That was the pass though. It was just overhit. It's a great run from Isak. He just needed to be slipped down the side, and he would have been in to have a shot first time.
One of the games affecting the positions in the race for the Champions League. That's the game between Fulham and Man City. We have a first goal there, and it's a goal for Manchester City, and it's Ilkay Gundogan who's on target at Craven Cottage. Manchester City, remember, only need a point to qualify for the Champions League, but on their way towards 3 right now. That game live right now over on Talk. Download the Talk Sport app, of course, if you would like to get access to all of our games. Remember, there's a goal in the one between Spurs and Brighton as well. Spurs leading there by a goal to 0. That's one of our exclusive app commentaries as well this afternoon. Header away by Botman has given a throw in a good position here for Everton down the left-hand side. It's level with the edge of the penalty area, and it's Garner who's going to launch that throw in. Good header away that time by Dan Burn. Out to Garner again on this left-hand side. He's got support from Iliman Ndiaye. Just clips it onto Mikalenko, who does get the cross away low to the edge of the 6-yard box. Gimenez is giving it away. Garner's going to strike one, which he does, and Pope goes down low to his left-hand side and makes a good save. And now on the rebound, a counter for Newcastle. Livramento up over halfway. He's got 3 round him. Livramento still going. It's a brilliant run so far. And Idrissa Gueye is going to get a yellow card for that challenge on Livramento, who has dragged his side to within yards of the penalty area of Everton on that far side.
Another example of why he should have been in the England squad. Left back marauding forward, got past 3 or 4 Everton players there, and Idrissa Gueye has to take him out because he's going in on that back line there just to put a ball across for Isak. Excellent play from Livramento. Again, another player so consistent for Newcastle this season, whether it's been at left back or right back. Real surprise that he wasn't in the squad. What do you think, Adam?
Yeah, his quality, there's no doubt about it. Played right back and left back, hasn't he? He's got so much to offer. And a reminder, I think about 177 times this season he's won possession back, the most of the Newcastle side. Real fighter.
You think it's 177?
I think it's 177.
That's a very deliberate number for thinking. Just an FYI.
Prior to today. That's probably 178 now, after he won possession there, for sure. Here's the free kick. Tonali on that far side. Right foot in. Floated across towards the back post where Fabian Schär was waiting. Cleared away as far as that man, Livramento again. Down this right-hand side. Murphy on the charge forward. Chance for a good ball in. He's got a great angle to curl it towards the back post. And arriving on that occasion was Dan Burn, but Jordan Pickford got there first and gathers the ball at the edge of his 6-yard area quite comfortably. Don't get me started on England squads, because a lot of it's irritated me, so I'm not even going to go there.
I feel like we're going to have 5 minutes at some point in this game where it's a bit low, and I'll tap that juicy nerve for you.
If it goes quiet. There's plenty of opinions that everyone has on that choices made by Thomas Tuchel this time round.
I think it's really interesting on 3 set pieces now for Newcastle. They're targeted a block on the back post, so maybe they've seen something in their set pieces that suggest that Everton front load it in terms of having everyone nearer the ball, their bigger players, but they've tried to get 2 people away. If they can get that delivery a little bit better, they'll have someone having a free shot at the end of the sequence.
Here's Dan Burn on that far side for Newcastle. It remains 0-0 here at St James's Park. 25 minutes on the clock, ticking round towards 26. And as things stand, with it being goalless as well between Forest and Chelsea, and goalless between Manchester United and Villa, it's very much a case of as you were in terms of those Champions League places right now. It's Isak who will go back towards Schär on halfway. and then Botman out wide to the left-hand side in the strip of sunshine here at St James's Park that's not caught in the shadows of this magnificent stadium. And it's Livramento again on that far side, got the better of Harrison. That's a great cross towards the back post. Barnes is there, and he takes it down and just tried to get the shot away. Had two defenders around him, but in the end Pickford can gather at the edge of the 6-yard area.
What a ball again. Livramento down that left hand side stands Jack Harrison up, as we said earlier, not known for his defending, just drops the shoulder, runs in behind, and as he gets from that, then puts a lovely ball in with his left foot to the back post. I don't think Harvey Barnes knows it's coming, but instead of just trying to get a little shot off, he tries to control it and do it in two. He's 6 yards out. Just hit it, get any contact on it, make Jordan Pickford make a save. Much better for Newcastle there.
Eddie Howe very much telling Barnes to get out here on this right hand side. He's telling him to stretch the play as much as he possibly can, and Murphy just tucking in this time.
Yeah,
so a tactical switch here?
Yeah, a little tactical tweak. So what he's trying to do is isolate his wide men in terms of Gordon and Harvey Barnes with the fullbacks, and then allow for Murphy and Livramento to come inside, because then it's Ndiaye and it's Jack Harrison who will have to do the defending. But at this moment in time, they're just playing it into Everton's hands at the moment. You want to stretch this Everton team, don't let them have the low block, which we know they're very good at over the last 5-6 years, and just make sure that the game's a bit more stretched and your better individual quality players can get at their fullbacks.
Murphy on this near side gets it back towards the feet of Cher, who's got no one coming to him. On this right hand side he finds Guimaraes. Murphy's hugging the touchline. Barnes has tucked in this time towards the edge of the penalty area. It's back with Botman once more, and again to Cher. Right hand side for Murphy. Barnes goes outside him. Tonali's in the middle. Tonali with some room in the box, tight angle, gets his shot away or cross away, and it was blocked by Keane. And then it's a foul, is it, like Tonali? Referee says no. It was Alcaraz that went down. Keane will clear up towards Beto, who challenges hard that time alongside Cher, and the referee will allow Cher to get some treatment potentially here, just in case this is a head injury from his collision with Beto. But
I think just his shoulder. I think his shoulder's just got Beto's shoulder's just got into the side of his head there. Just a little bit of a whiplash type effect. We're just seeing Eddie Howe down here to our right hand side, just having a chat with both Murphy and Barnes, because at the moment this is the problem side for Newcastle. Their right hand side, they're not doing well defensively, but they're not doing enough going forward as well. But when they do get wide and spread, you're allowing for Guimaraes and Tonali to make those wonderful little inside runs, and then you've got Alcaraz defending, and that's not a defender that you want there. So what Eddie Howe's trying to do is try to overload the outside, spread this Everton team wide and long, and then allow for the little runners to come in, and then their better midfielders, their better attacking players will be in the box, and hopefully their individual flair will come out.
There's currently Newcastle 0, Everton 0. For the latest odds, head to William Hill, the official betting partner of TalkSport 2's Premier League coverage, where right now you can get Newcastle to win at 2-5, Everton at 5-1. The draw is 4-1, and that's all thanks to William Hill. 18+, begambleaware.org. Here come Newcastle again. Cher's ball floated into the penalty area and gathered by Pickford under pressure from Livramento away to our right hand side. One ball forward, and on the chase there was Alcaraz, but it's well defended that time by Botman, and Botman has it midway inside his own half. Another injury plagued season for Sven Botman, only his 6th start of the campaign for the Dutchman. 3rd in a row though, and he finds Gordon outside him on that left hand side. He's got Byrne who's on the overlap, but Gordon comes infield towards Isak, who's not seen much of the ball in the last 10-15 minutes or so. Here's Guimaraes on that left hand side. Burns out wide. Guimaraes still going. He will use Dan Burn, of course. Scored in the game here where they was taking on Ipswich, as well as that goal of course in the finals. Pickford goes down and makes the save, and then Isak is in the game with a follow-up shot, and again Pickford makes a terrific stop, and it's a corner. Going to be taken quickly on this right hand side, but there's 2 balls on the field, so that'll be delayed. Pickford at his very best.
Yeah, it's a great shot from Tonali. Takes a little deflection, I think, from Alcaraz as he's getting that shot off, which bobbles it up, which Jordan Pickford has to just parry to his left hand side. But again, Isak showing that poacher that he is, running in on the follow, difficult angle on that right hand side, still hits the target, makes Pickford do another save for a corner. But Newcastle started to up the tempo a little bit now.
Here's Tonali down this right hand side. It's an outswinger and it's headed goalwards, and just over the bar that time by Fabian Schär got himself into a good position, and Tonali with a nice delivery, but just couldn't quite get it downwards, and it's over the crossbar, and a goal kick for Everton away to our right hand side. 31 and a half minutes played. It's Newcastle 0, Everton 0. A reminder of the key goals elsewhere. Fulham 0, Manchester City 1 at Craven Cottage. Liverpool 0, Crystal Palace 1. It's Spurs 1, Brighton 0, and Wolves 0, Brentford 1. In terms of what that does to the table right now, it's Man City who are third, of course, Newcastle 4th, Chelsea 5th, Villa in 6th, and Forest in 7th, as you were, and it'll be Brentford who finish 8th with a chance of European football, depending on what happens live on TalkSport on Wednesday night between Chelsea and Real Betis, of course. That's in to touch on this near side. Botman just pulled up for a moment, but he's got a throw for his side, and he'll give it back to Nick Pope away to our left-hand side. I'm sure there's plenty more drama to come in the last 60 minutes of all these games today.
Wouldn't mind some in this game, would you?
A little bit would be good.
Yeah, it's a long old drive to just be talking to you. As much as I love you, Adam.
The energy's good, that's for sure. We're just missing a little bit of the quality. Gordon on the charge. Ashley Young with a challenge. And it's not going to be a yellow card for Ashley Young. In fact, he's furious. He's absolutely convinced that Anthony Gordon has dived there. Absolutely raging is Ashley Young. He's been around long enough to know a dive when he sees one, I suspect. In fact, he's done a few himself.
I was about to say, it's a massive dive, but it is pot kettle black, isn't it, coming from Youngie as well, moaning at somebody else diving when they go past them. To be fair to him, he's completely turned away, and Gordon just thinks he's going to stick his leg out. He doesn't, and he nicks one, but I think if I'm Newcastle, I'm lucky that we've got one there, but I need a bit more quality now from these set pieces. It's building, isn't it, Adam? It's building as if there's got to be a goal, but there's no real clear-cut chance at this moment in time.
A couple of yards from the edge of the penalty area on the far side, this free kick. 18 yards out, probably about 5 yards in from the far touchline. Tonali's going to swing it in, which he does. And the good header in was from Beto once more to get it away for Everton down this near side. Then Mikalenko goes direct. Livramento in the header in the centre circle. Helped on its way that time by Botman, looking to try and find Barnes. And then there's a foul on Njai, and it will be a free kick for Everton midway inside their own half.
But yeah, it's a wonderful header from Beto, as you alluded to. He's got Botman and Schär right there, back to go and head it, but he just gets his head there, being really brave. As I said, the change in form for him is remarkable. Looks like someone they could actually build a team around. A couple of weeks back you were thinking maybe he has to go as well.
£26 million he cost from Udinese, of course, Beto. 2 goals in his last 3 appearances. He's only 27 as well, but it's been in and out. I mean, it's only his 15th start of the season. I don't think Sean Dyche was particularly feeling him when he was in charge at Everton, whereas David Moyes has very much felt he's the man for him up top.
He has all the attributes to do it. He's 6'3", 6'4".
Yep.
He can run, he can score. It's just that consistency and keeping him fit and available. Obviously, know a lot of him from his time at Udine, obviously a parent club of Watford. So you see and you hear about these players, but he hasn't really got that personality where he's willing to drag a team forward, and I think that's the missing bit probably for Sean Dyche. But David Moyes is used to working with players and trying to get that little bit extra out of the players that not everyone can get out of them. You think back to his time at West Ham and the things he did there with certain players, you'd have to say he's probably got another 5% out of them.
There's Gordon on the charge down the left-hand side again, gets the byline, cuts that ball back across. It was heading straight for the head of Isak, but it was an important intervention again from Mikalenko this time to nod it clear. It is another corner for Newcastle on the far side, but you feel they're knocking at the door here. Everton defending admirably so far. 10 minutes to go to half-time. Yet another corner on that far side. And it's going to be delivered by Tonali. 4th corner of the game for Newcastle. Right-footed, in-swinging as well into the danger zone and down in the ground from Botman and tipped over the bar from Jordan Pickford. Couldn't quite get the purchase he needed. Nodded it down too close to him, and Pickford just palms it over for another corner.
Yeah, it's a great ball to the back post. And the problem for Mikalenko is he wants to go out and try and attack it, but he's got Schär coming around the back. They clearly identified that back post as a weakness. It's a wonderful header though from Botman down into the ground. Unfortunately he heads it 2 down and he doesn't get enough purchase on it to cause Pickford any problems.
Tonali again. Such good quality from him so far. Gets that across, and again it's Cher who gets the header, but it took a slight nick off the defender as well as it went over the crossbar, and it will be another corner on this right-hand side. Murphy now coming to offer himself short.
Do it again. You've had two now back-to-back. Just keep putting it in an area.
Newcastle looking for third time lucky here. Right-footed, this one goes in close to the near post. Botman's there, gets it down and gets the shot. And in the end, Pickford, with an outstretched left boot in front of the post, turns it behind. And, well, on the way here today, several people said to me, Pickford will play out of his skin today. Just to try and deny Newcastle. And he's made 3 or 4 really good saves so far.
That's a great save, just with his left foot down to that bottom corner. He's going in. He kicks it around the post.
Tonali again gets that one in, and this is headed away this time by Keane, out as far as Gordon. Murphy again, he's got Tonali out here on this near side. Back to Murphy once more. Murphy looks to cut infield, tracked by Garner. Garner's saying that Murphy's put his arm into his face. Murphy's still going, Garner's on the deck. The Newcastle United will play on. Murphy's attempted pass intercepted by Alcaraz. Alcaraz is away, and it's a tug on his arm by Cher, who's furious and takes the yellow card for his team.
Yeah, he's not been happy with Jacob Murphy today. Again, we've got to talk about players just going down. I know James Garner played with him at Watford. Literally the slightest flick in the face and they go down, and it's like a God-given right that we have to just pull the play up and go, okay, he touched his eyelash, let's give him a foul. Ball goes dead, look, straight up, no problems. Honestly, start booking people for that. It's winding me up. Don't know if you can tell.
Just a little. David Moyes is wound up by the assistant on this near side. Not the first time he's been trying to call him and shout at him about some of his decision making.
But I also think Jacob Murphy's in that position where if he doesn't liven up in the next 5-6 minutes, he can come off at half time. That's really poor from him there. Works it across the box. Fabian Schär has to take a yellow card because Jacob gives it away, and it allows for Everton to counter-attack again. It's just been a problem down this right-hand side. I really could see a situation where Kieran Trippier comes on at half-time.
Mykolenko gets the cross in, and arriving with the header that time was Alcaraz, and it's tipped over by Pope. That's terrific from Everton. Down this left-hand side, a Drissa Gay's ball, perfectly weighted. Mykolenko's cross, and Alcaraz slammed the header on target, only to see it tipped over the bar.
Again, down this right-hand side, which you keep talking about. Everton have identified that's a wonderful ball from Mykolenko, as you said, and Alcaraz gets across his defender really well. It's going in the top corner. It's a wonderful save from Nick Pope, just tipped it over his bar. But this right hand side is a problem for Newcastle.
4 clean sheets in his 11 previous appearances against Everton for Nick Pope, and he's made a big save to deny them this time round. But it is a corner. Garner right-footed towards that back post, and Pope's there to punch away. Only out as far as Ashley Young. Young on the right-hand side, going to deliver. Swings that one in. Beto goes up for the header, and he nods it over the top of the bar, away to our left-hand side. And it remains 0-0. 39.5 minutes played. You're listening to Newcastle against Everton on TalkSport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Making a big move or planning a clear-out with vans of all shapes and sizes. If you've got a plan, they've got a van. Goal kick taken short. A little bit of doubt there from Botman, who then gives it to Byrne. Pressure on from Harrison on that far side. Byrne does get it out, but only as far as Keane. Keane's volley forward is met by the head of Byrne, straight into touch on that far side. It's not good for Newcastle so far, is it?
No, not at all. Just again, all the staff down there just in front of us questioning and thinking about what tactical changes they can do. I actually think it's a personnel and a mentality change as opposed to anything else. Got Charlie Adam to our left hand side just giving me some evils there, so maybe he's thinking that his Everton team aren't getting enough credit.
Here's Ashley Young, gives it short to Gay, who flicks it in towards Beto, couldn't get there with a header, half cleared away by Byrne, nodded back towards the danger zone by Keane, but it's more up in the air than anything. Gordon tried to win it, now it's there for Njai, clipped forward this time by Gay, and then Pope will gather and immediately bowls it out down this right hand side for Murphy. Can Newcastle counter well here? It's forward but intercepted again by Mykolenko. Beto's there with 2 round him, does well, but Gimaresh picks up the loose ball, finds Gordon in a central position this time. Gordon to Barnes towards the edge of the penalty area, 25 yards out, feeds it to Isak on this right hand side. He's right by the touchline as he gives it back to Murphy. Murphy inside the penalty area. Hilleman and Giles back doing the defending, and it's going to be another corner for Newcastle down this right hand side.
He's lucky though there, Jacob Murphy. Gets set back from Isak. All it needs him to be whipping in the box first time. Takes too many touches, and just as I say that, they've sent Kieran Trippier out to warm up. Like I said, I can really see him coming on at half time, because Jacob, for how good he's been this season, has been really, really poor this first half. Really poor.
Right hand side again, Tonali will deliver this corner for Newcastle United. They've come close time and time again towards the back post. It's over everyone. Comes out to Isak. He's got the ball on the ground. He's challenged, but he keeps possession. Finds Gordon 25 yards out. His shot is blocked by Harrison. Offside flag is up from the assistant on this near side.
Who's offside?
Good question. We'll get a better view in the moment, but he's adamant there is an offside position, or a player in an offside position, and it will be a free kick for Everton inside their own penalty area into the last 3 minutes on TalkSport 2. It remains 0-0 here. Elsewhere for the Champions League places, Man City lead Fulham. It's still goalless in the game between Forest and Chelsea. And in terms of the race for the other European places, i.e. 8th in particular, Spurs are leading against Brighton, and Brentford lead at Wolves, which means Brentford will be finishing 8th as things stand. In the top 7, it's as you were. Here's down this left-hand side, Iliman and Jai still going, gets the better of Tonali, then tries to get round Murphy, and in the end just runs it into touch. He worked hard, he fought hard, but those two black and white shirts just too much for him in the end.
Yeah, he just ran out of space, did he, down his left-hand side. He's really exciting to watch, though, isn't he, the way he just glides past people with the ball. Anywhere on the pitch he wants to get it and be positive and go forward. Wonder what you think about Newcastle's half-time team talk. Probably one of the biggest in Eddie's career here at Newcastle.
They won't want to mess it up. The Champions League is so important to them. To get in for a second time in 3 seasons is, it's only the 4th time in total they've ever achieved it in all their time, and it's in their own hands. And I mean, I thought today, if Trippier was fit, I thought he'd go back to a flat back 4, because it's the method that's brought them the success.
Yeah.
You know, the 4-3-3 is what has brought them so much throughout this season. They've only won 2 of their last 5. So I wouldn't say 3 games in a row now they've played with a back 3 because they've had to. It was successful here in their last game, of course.
I think it's more they was expecting Everton to just really camp in and not be as aggressive as Everton have been. But for right now, it's Isak's going out to the left and the right to get hold of the ball, and when he was through the middle he didn't touch the ball. So as a striker you do get frustrated, you go wondering. But I just think if they go to a 4, especially with Trippier, the quality he has, it will allow for Isak to be through the middle then, and then you'll get the natural width with Gordon and Barnes. At the moment there's a bit of Barnes trying to come in as a 10 when the ball's on the opposite side and leaving Murphy all the space. It just doesn't feel that it's natural to this Newcastle team.
It's like Kieran Tierney's got a farewell goal for Arsenal. They lead against Southampton, and James Ward-Prowse has scored for West Ham against Ipswich. I wonder if it's a free kick. He's not scored one of those since he left Southampton, but Ward-Prowse on target. Good ball from Gimenez. Here's Barnes inside the box, just tried to stop it and spin and turn, and it caught his heel and has gone out of play for what will be a goal kick for Jordan Pickford away to our right hand side. We're about to find out how many added minutes we're going to have here at St James's Park. We're in the last minute of that first half here on TalkSport 2. It remains 0-0. Remember, get that TalkSport app downloaded if you want to follow the story this afternoon. We have 7 live commentaries in total for you across the TalkSport network. Many of them without goals, it's fair to say. As away to our right hand side, it's Pickford who will launch it forward as we go into the minute of added time. Beto gets on the end of Pickford's long ball forward and flicks it on, but Botman and Cher combine to pick it up, and Cher will drive forward and then finds Murphy down this right hand side. Murphy, early ball in this time to Barnes. Barnes does well as he finds Gimenez. Gimenez out wide to the left hand side where Gordon is waiting. Livramento has just gone out wide. Gimenez once more. Here's Tonali to this near touchline. Murphy's waiting for it. Edge of the penalty area still is Cher. Murphy's attempted ball is just cannoning back off and Jai, and it's out for a throw, which he takes quickly. Here's Cher. Isak comes short. Yellow boots as ever for Alexander Isak. Has it on this right hand side. Not really had a clear opportunity. The only effort on goal from him was from the rebound off Pickford's save from the deflected shot of Tonali. Aside from that, not had a sniff of a goal really. Here's Gordon.
Called half time.
And there's half time with Newcastle on the attack. Not very happy about that. They were about 10 yards outside the penalty area, but referee Tony Harrington says enough is enough at the end of a 45 minutes where there have been chances at both ends. Pickford the busier of the two keepers, you would say, although Pope had a terrific stop to make to deny Alcaraz his header that was heading on target. Tonali denied, and also Isak denied by Pickford and Botman too in that opening 45 minutes. But I think Eddie Howe has got more problems to solve here than David Moyes. He'll be very happy with the opening 45 minutes from his Everton side. Newcastle, though, as things stand, they are going to be playing in the Champions League, but it's on a knife edge. Half-time. Newcastle United 0, Everton 0. Thank you very much, Faye. We await the arrival of the two teams for the start of the second half. Probably more conundrums at half-time to solve for Eddie Howe and Jason Tindall. They were deep in conversation through long periods of that opening 45 minutes. David Moyes very much stood alone in his technical area. Leighton Baines appeared occasionally, but there was constant conversations taking place down below with the Newcastle bench. And a sign, Troy, that things just weren't quite right.
No, also it's one of those when you have to start thinking, well, what is it as a manager and a coach and stuff, what is it that we've got wrong, what have we got on the bench? And for Newcastle, they've got a lot of options off the bench, but also they've got a lot in their favour. Everton will have to make changes, but you feel that when Everton make changes, their changes will deplete their squad. It won't be to the level that these guys have. And I think if you look at Newcastle, every change that they make can be really positive. So just understanding when to do it and how to do it. I think is it a bit longer at half-time today, so everyone kicks off at the same time?
They do seem like they've been out there for a wee while, to be fair.
A wee while?
Yeah, a wee while. We're not far from Scotland. We can start.
Well, you are from Birmingham, right? Just checking.
Well, not originally. I just lived near there, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a Southerner, mate. I'm a
that's
London
why you're
boy,
so soft. Yeah, that's why you got a coat on today. Makes sense.
Coat, listen, Mickey Gray arrived today in a duffel. I was thinking, blimey, he's not seen the weather forecast. He said it can get a bit chilly here. Mickey, I think maybe Mickey was keeping the chill out after a heavy night after Sunderland's win. Who knows? Just a point on Jamal Lascelles. Good to see him out there actually for Newcastle warming up. Of course, picked up a really horrible knee injury in the West Ham game last season in the Premier League here, and he's just got back to fitness just over a year later or so, as Fog on the Tyne starts to kick in around the stadium, and I think they've run out of half-time tunes today while we wait for the arrival. And I think the cameramen are busy, so it looks like both teams are going to come and join us. A reminder, if you haven't got it already, to download that TalkSport app if you want to keep across all the stories throughout this second half as the race for these Champions League places comes to a climax. And at the moment, a reminder, it's Man City who are winning. The only one actually who's winning. Still remains goalless between Forest and Chelsea at half-time. Goalless here, and Aston Villa down to 10 men. And if you do get a chance to see the red card for Emi Martinez.
Oh, wow.
We had a quick look at half-time, didn't we, for Aston Villa? He comes out of his area. I mean, it's a poor back pass from Matty Cash. This game, by the way, is live over on TalkSport. And Emi Martinez just comes out and literally flattens Højlund, doesn't he?
Yeah, it was a tackle I'd be very proud of. But it was the best part about all of the tackles when he puts it down is the instant. What's the word I'm going to use? The instant regret is the word I'm going to use. A nice word I'm going to use to the referee to say, no, the ball's going wide. Yeah. It was going wide. He had 40 yards behind him where even Højlund wouldn't have missed that one.
Yeah, if rumours are to be believed, he could be his last game for Aston Villa, as he's potentially an asset they may cash in on in terms of trying to improve the squad for next season. Well, look, by my reckoning, we've had 18 minutes of this half-time, and I assume it can only be because every game, apart from the games at Southampton, Spurs and Wolves, they're the ones that look like everything is going back to normal there. Let's have a look.
But it's still saying City is still at half-time. Forest Chelsea half-time, so maybe it's a little delay for those games, and Villa still half-time. Maybe a delay for all those to kick off at the same time.
Yeah, it must be at the start of the second half. So a reminder, we've got more live football for you, just because the end of the season is nigh. The football doesn't stop, of course. Tomorrow we have got that playoff final from League 2, which I know you're going to, Walsall against Wimbledon. And you fancy Walsall?
Yeah, I do actually. Was obviously worried from the turn of the year, 14 points clear, and then missed it out on the last day to go into the playoffs. But they've reacted really well, and I think you're going to see them do a job on Wimbledon. I really do.
Yeah, that's live tomorrow on TalkSport 2. Then kick off 3:01 of course tomorrow, but our build-up begins from 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Then on Wednesday night we've got more live football for you with that Conference League final in Wrocław in Poland. That game taking place, of course, between Chelsea and Real Betis. I flew in there once, picked a car up, drove to Prague to watch West Ham in the Conference League final, drove back, but it looks a nice city. I didn't stay in it very long, but the final taking place there this time round for Chelsea. And then, of course, we've got Champions League final for you next Saturday night, PSG against Inter. That, of course, in the Allianz in Munich. Well, we're seeing a change, and it's Willock that's coming on, and it is it's Anthony Gordon who's gone off at half-time. So Willock going in to strengthen that midfield, and then, this is going to be interesting now then. Dan Burn at left-back, maybe? Yes, Dan Burn at left-back. Livramento at right-back. They've gone to a 4.
It was what we were talking about, wasn't it? We were potentially saying that I thought it could be Harvey Barnes that could come off, but he likes Jacob Murphy out there on the high right. I think it's a conversation with Jacob Murphy where it's like, you owe me, because he could have definitely came off. But yeah, back 4, back to that 4-3-3 that we used to see Newcastle having. Hopefully more action and more fluidity to the way it plays, but with Willock in there they're going to have more pace and power as well. Yeah,
it feels like a very sensible decision from Eddie Howe and his management team. We'll confirm that line-up for you in a moment, but that is the half-time change. The departure of Anthony Gordon, who has been a little out of form since he returned from injury, that's for sure, and he's off and Willock is on, and a change of shape as well for Eddie Howe's side. So it's now Nick Pope in goal, a back 4 of Livramento at right back, and it's Cher and Botman, the two centre-halves. Dan Burn playing left-back on this near side, and then in midfield it's a 3 now of Willock, Gimaresh and Tonali, and then right on the right Murphy, right on the left Barnes, and Isak down the middle for Newcastle United at the start of this second half. It's Willock immediately in the action, challenged by Garner, and a throw on this left-hand side for Newcastle. As for Everton, it's as you were, Pickford in goal, Young, Keane, O'Brien and Mikalenko across the back, Garner and Gay in central midfield, Harrison, Alcaraz and Njai playing in behind Beto, who is up top for David Moyes' side. We are off and running. We are 3 minutes into this second half, or a minute should I say. Can't read the clock properly. I'll get there eventually. We've had such a long break, it's been quite tricky for everyone to get going again at the start of this second half. Tonali then on down this left hand side to find Barnes, but it's cleared away, comes out as far as Beto. Brilliant hold up play again from Beto into Njai. He's got Botman all over him. Referee lets it go, and rightly so, because Njai's got away from him. He got away from the challenge of Willock. Still going, Njai brings Harrison in down the right hand side. Here's Harrison, ball across the face of goal, takes the deflection, appeals for a handball. All the Everton players have got their arms up, wanting a handball against Newcastle. Tony Harrington, the referee, not interested, but VAR will be having a look, you can guarantee.
Again, Ndiaye though, just wonderful. We spoke about him in the first half. Every time he gets the ball, he just dribbles with it effortlessly, but always going forward, always positive. Takes off Willock and Butman in that situation. Good ball from Harrison, but it did take a weird stop. So it did look like it hit an arm because of the way that the ball just stopped. It been fired across the face of the goal. Looks like it hit Livramento on the arm and then took a weird deflection, but nothing happening for VAR just yet.
David Moyes in conversation with the fourth official. I think the fourth official's just said it hit him on the side as opposed to the hand, and that the VAR check is over and done with. Tony Harrington just explaining that as well to Beto. And Newcastle will have possession out wide on that right hand side. Big 45 minutes here for Eddie Howe and his side. Remember, it's in their own hands. A victory and they qualify for the Champions League. Anything less and it has an impact elsewhere. Brighton have equalised down at Spurs as well. That's live on the TalkSport app right now. 1 apiece now at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Well, that's poor from Barnes, and Harrison's getting it away from Dan Burn here. Harrison gets it infield towards Alcaraz and then picked up again by Harrison on its way to Iliman Ndiaye, who's on the charge once more. Left hand side, he's got the support of Mikalenko, who plays early, blocked by Livramento at the edge of the penalty area on that far side, right by the corner flag, and Livramento in the end goes down. The ball goes out of play and everyone's waiting for a decision from Tony Harrington, and eventually he gives the goal kick to Newcastle United.
Good refereeing there as well. little bit of argy-bargy in the corner, and Livramento just falls on the ball, and most players normally get a foul for that. Referee just carries it on. Livramento gets away with it, but again, Newcastle started sloppily, started poorly.
Isak's rolled over, nothing doing again from the referee, and it's with Garner on that far side for Everton. Ipswich have equalised. Ipswich 1, West Ham 1. One of those games that's got nothing on it in the Premier League this afternoon. Here comes O'Brien, forward over halfway, another player who's absolutely flourished under David Moore. He's going to get a look in under Sean Dyche, but O'Brien in the heart of that defence. He finds Harrison. Harrison's cross takes a little deflection, and it's safely into the arms of Pope.
Again, you can hear the crowd just getting up and frustrated. It's too slow from Newcastle. The passing, it feels a bit like they're ready for the season to be over, but they've got one more big job to do, and it's coming in this next 35 minutes. They have to go and deliver, but this moment in time really sloppy in their play, and the tempo is awful.
Livramento gets it short out wide to that right hand side. It's infield once more, and it's going to be picked up and brought forward by the charging Murphy towards Isak, edge of the penalty area. Isak, ball under his feet, tries to slide it in for Willock, advanced into the penalty area, but he couldn't quite get there, and there's a free kick at the edge of the penalty area for Everton, and a chance for them to clear away to our left hand side. And it's going to be Jordan Pickford with a chance to clear it forward. Still remains 1-1 in the game between Spurs and Brighton. Hinshaw with the goal scorer. A reminder of that Ipswich equaliser, the only 2 goals that have gone in at the start of this second half. 5 minutes into that second 45, the final 45 of the season, and a big goal in the race for the Champions League places. It's come at the City ground, and it's Chelsea who have got themselves in front in the game against Nottingham Forest. So Forest 0, Chelsea 1. And Levi Colwill called up to the England squad this week, of course, by Thomas Tuchel, and he has given Chelsea the lead at the City ground. Well, as things stood, of course, the situation meant that it was going to be a heartache of a day for Forest, who was sitting in 7th in that table. At this moment in time, Newcastle are occupying the last spot, 5th spot level, on points with Aston Villa as things stand, but it will be Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea and Newcastle as things stand in the Champions League for next season. But still plenty of time for that to change as we go through this second half. And it's Ross Stewart who scored for Southampton. He's had a rough old time with injuries since he made his move there, but Stewart on target for Southampton, and they've levelled things up against Arsenal at St Mary's. So the goals flying in at the start of the second half, and it's now Ipswich 1, West Ham United 2 in that game down at Portman Road, the last Premier League action for now over in Suffolk. On that far side, trying to keep the ball in play was Michael Keane. It's gone out though, and listen to the Newcastle fans. They've got a throw midway inside the Forest half on that far side. The supporters inside St James's Park just trying to lift that team. Gimanesh is forced backwards. His pass comes to Botman. Botman's challenged by Beto, but Botman's still going, and then loses out to Iliman Ndiaye. And again, Everton will go direct this time up to Beto. Gets a good little flick on to Alcaraz. Harrison's coming with support on the right. Beto's going down the left-hand side. Alcaraz fancies his chances and forces the save from Pope. Low down to his left-hand side. And it's a corner to Everton. But they are slicing through Newcastle.
Yeah, and again, it comes from Beto. Wonderful hold-up play. Little flick on. Plays it down to Harrison.
Right for the ball. Cut across the corner. And there's a header. And it's Beto. No, it's not Beto that time.
Garner.
It was going to be Garner from 6 yards out. I'm not too sure he could do much to control it. He got it goalwards, but over the top of the crossbar, away to our right-hand side.
The fan base is to our right now, getting very frustrated. They're looking down at the options they've got, Eddie Howard and Jason, because this is the case now of what do they do? How do they do? Because they can't seem to get 2 or 3 passes together. They've got to change the momentum and the feel of this whole atmosphere. But Newcastle getting sliced open just to that corner there for Beto. Wonderful flick on. Allows Alcaraz to run off the back of Tonali, and he's through.
No distance on him at all. Jared Bowen, the goal scorer for squad. We won't do it now. Although it would be appropriate.
And trying to get that. Well,
plans. I think it's very hard nowadays. The argument is Jarvis coming on to it.
Absolutely, that is a pass back. He's just controlled them. Instead of going and clearing himself, he's just shepherded it back all the way to Jordan Pickford. So for me, I just think that's a back pass all day. Just when you talk about Kieran Trippier, that calmness and that level of quality that he has, yes, that would be great, but I think
he's Livramento down the right hand side, clips it to the back post, trying to get the header was Barnes, and he does, but he just heads it up into the air, and Jordan Pickford, who's looked so assured, just gathers that ball quite comfortably at the edge of the 6-yard area. And it's hard to work out if the fans behind the Everton goal right now are having a go at Pickford or their own players. It's difficult to work out the way this second half has started.
Yeah, I think it's a sense of frustration around the place. I do think the referee's handled this game really well. He's let a lot go, but he's also made it a fair game in terms of some of the harsher tackles. But I do just think Newcastle need a little bit more of a spark. Whether that's Trippier, whether that's changing formation and going 2 up front, I'm not sure, but the change of Willock at the minute hasn't brought the results that they would want, and Kieran Trippier's getting stripped off just below us.
Long run forward towards Beto again, and Jai helps on its way. Pope will collect it. You're listening to Newcastle against Everton on TalkSport 2 with Sky Sports. Don't forget you can stream the biggest Premier League games available with no contract on now, like Nottingham Forest against Chelsea and Liverpool against Crystal Palace. They're both live right now. Search Now Sports. Down this left-hand side, Dan Burn has it once more, looking to bring it forward. On this left-hand side, short to Gimaresh at the edge of his own penalty area, flips the ball forward once more, where it's picked up now wide on that right hand side by Livramento inside as well to the feet of Isak on halfway. It's gathered up once more by Willock, helped on its way to Tonali. Left hand side now Burn. They've advanced to midway inside the Everton half. Here is Harvey Barnes down this left hand side, ball at feet, looking to take on Harrison. He's got Dan Burn outside of him. Burn will go back towards Tonali. No, instead he goes forward to Gimaresh, and now down this left hand side it's Barnes on his right foot, pings one towards the back post, and Pickford has to come out flying with both fists to clear it away, and it's into touch on that far side where it's picked up now by Gimaresh, and again it's through to Pickford quite comfortably away to our left hand side.
Good play again from Newcastle, just managing the situation really well, and Dyche has gone down now claiming cramp. Pickford being Pickford is winding the fan base up, just taking the sting out of the game. But just thinking there, the ball goes in from Harvey Barnes, he cuts on that right foot and whips it, a lovely ball in. You 1v1 against Ashley Young, go and get at him, back him up into the box, try and get your shots off. I think that's a little bit of disappointment that Eddie Howe will feel from his team at this moment in time. And then I was just wondering as well, never heard him complain about Joe Linton not being in the team. No,
I mean, it's one of the, when they play that 3, Joe Linton does offer an awful lot, doesn't he?
He's so good.
Again, they've tried to get by without it. I'm not sure they're quite managing it today. His presence today, you feel, would make a difference. There's some goals going in elsewhere. Bournemouth lead Leicester by a 0-0, and Brighton have gone in front, having been behind against Spurs, and it's Hinshelwood again. He's second of the game for Brighton. So as things stand right now, and it is Botman that's coming off for Newcastle, and Kieran Trippier will come on. So I suspect Livramento, having just gone from left wing back to right back, is now going to come over to left back. Trippier will go to right back, with Byrne now moving into the middle with Share for Newcastle United. And it's going to be, I think it's okay to continue his Iliman and Jar on that far side. It wouldn't surprise me if he's got cramp. He has to stop running today. No,
just looking at, really interesting how you have to manage players now, because Botman has had every single member of staff come up and tell him it's okay, and the reason he's come off is because it's a tactical change. Back in the day, you just get brought off and you have to shut up. Remember the good old days?
Well, listen, it's not that long ago you stopped playing.
Feels like it.
Let's see how the Premier League table looks then. At the moment, Man City are in 3rd, Chelsea in 4th, Newcastle 5th, Villa are in 6th. Remember, Villa are down to 10 minutes, still 0-0 in the game at Old Trafford against Manchester United. But Villa score and everything changes for Newcastle United. That's the jeopardy we have right now here at St James's Park. And as things stand, Brighton are now in that 8th spot, which could potentially lead to a place in the Conference League. But we shall see. We won't find out about that until Wednesday, of course, but we'll have clarity on the rest this afternoon for you. But plenty of goals going in the second half, just none of them here at St James's Park, where it remains 0-0 on TalkSport 2, almost 64 minutes played. Don't forget, we'll be rounding up all of the fallout from the Premier League action tomorrow morning. TalkSport Superstar Breakfast on the air from 6 o'clock for you on TalkSport tomorrow. Bank holiday as well, so you can listen to it leisurely and you can watch it leisurely on the TalkSport app if you want, with a nice cup of coffee. Here's Njai, left-hand edge of the penalty area for Everton. Still got the ball at his feet. Tees it up for Mikalenko, who does deliver a decent cross. Again, nodded down by Alcaraz! And in for Everton! Alcaraz with a header. Delightful ball from Mikalenko. And we said the Geordies might be jittering. Well, their hearts could be breaking here at St James's Park. It's a terrific header from Alcaraz into the bottom corner. Pope was left stranded, and the inquest begins for Newcastle United, because as things stand, the Champions League is drifting away from Eddie Howe and his side. It's Newcastle 0, Everton 1.
What a ball. But before I talk about that goal, again Jacob Murphy giving the ball away. Lovely run from Njai down the left hand side, cuts it back to Mikalenko, who just feels a lovely pass to the far post. And what a header this is from Alcaraz. Drops his shoulder, gets to the edge of the penalty box, bang, heads it down into that far corner. What a goal. 1-0, no chance for Nick Pope. All the work for Newcastle to do, all the work.
It is, because that leaves them still on 66 points if things stayed as they are, and because Villa are holding on against Manchester United, they are currently on 67 points. So as things stand, it's the Europa League for Newcastle United. Reminder, of course, they've already got the Conference League, having won the Carabao Cup. Eddie Howe and Jason Tindall now with plenty to sort out. Mikalenko, his delivery at times. I mean, that was a different kind of delivery to what we saw in the first half, but it was delightful. And Alcaraz did so well. Ball at the feet of Nick Pope, given short that time to Gimaresh. Here's Byrne on this left-hand side. Pitched the long ball forward down this near touchline. Barnes has got the other side of Ashley Young, but Jake O'Brien's across, and he can intervene quite comfortably. Throw-in taken quickly this time. Gimaresh helps that ball on. Picks out Willock. Willock is 35 yards from goal, but nowhere to turn. He's closed down immediately by that wall of blue shirts. And he's done that midfield time and time again, and the Everton fans high up away to our left-hand side. They've let the flares off, and they're bouncing. I'm not sure I'd bounce at the top of that stand. It's quite some view coming down, that's for sure, but they are celebrating in real style, those who've travelled from Merseyside today. And Jordan Pickford then taking his time, fetching the ball behind the goal away to our left-hand side, and the long-time Sunderland player and fan, he's not going to be complaining about this as things stand.
We've got another one to our right-hand side of Mickey Gray, who I'm sure is having a lovely weekend as it stands with the scores currently this way. But for Newcastle, got to step forward, got to put some more pressure on.
Here's Isak with a shot. Great save from Pickford, flying away to his right-hand side, as he does so often, that almost Superman-like pose with both fists, as Isak gets a rare sight at goal in this game.
But it comes from Shah stepping in, winning the ball back in front of Beto for the first time today. As he drives in, gives it into Isak, continues his run. That run now allows for the defenders to go away, because he gets half a yard. Isak doesn't need any second opportunity to get that shot off on the edge of the box. Wonderful save from Pickford.
Murphy's cross straight into the arms of Pickford again. Well, you wonder where the Newcastle bench will turn to next. Will Asula is there, of course, from an attacking perspective. Callum Wilson as well.
Looks like Cal's getting his gear on as we speak. So you could probably see him going 4-4-2 in a way.
Yeah, Burns got into it, try and win that header that time against Alcaraz. Alcaraz is down. Tony Harrington has given the free kick for Newcastle. A long conversation. Tony Harrington just having it with, I think, Fabian Schär. And Alcaraz is up and about. And we have got 22 minutes remaining. Reminder, Man City, they are beating Fulham as things stand. We also know that Chelsea are beating Nottingham Forest. And Aston Villa currently drawing with Manchester United. And here's Beto, who's won that ball. Barnes tries to bring him down, he can't. Beto still going, tries to hit the shot, takes a deflection off of Dan Burn, and Nick Pope will just about keep it in play.
That sums it up just there. Harvey Barnes gets away from Ashley, just pass the ball, trying to do too much now. They've gone away from their simple game plan, which is get it, give it, get it, give it. And it's too many touches, too slow. Everton just jumping all over him with this wonderful press. We're talking a lot about Newcastle, and rightly so, but it's been excellent from Everton today.
Here's Tonali. Tonali skips it out wide to the left-hand side. Barnes, chance to cross, gets to the byline, does get the crossover, and Jake O'Brien is there again. Harrison clears it, only as far as Livramento, who's back at left-back now. Here's Cher. He's got Trippier out to the right. Trippier's the player he finds. Closed down by Njai. Guimaraes, edge of the penalty area, central position. Guimaraes on the move, into the feet of Isak. Little flick comes to Alcaraz, who gets it up to Beto. The layoff is to Gay. Gay will then right-footed clip a ball to this near side, into space for Beto to battle with Burn. And he does battle with him, and in the end it's a pull of shirts from Beto on Burn that's penalised by the assistant on this near side, and it will be a free kick. And David Moyes, he's not having that assistant all game, he's absolutely livid, and it's going to be Jacob Murphy that comes off. Well, he's probably lucky to have survived to the 69th minute, in all honesty, today.
I think so. Again, it's harsh to just pick out on single on one player, but I think it's definitely the worst game of his season by a country mile. Giving the ball away again. Just looking at it now, it's a 4-4-2. Harvey Barnes got out to that right hand side, Joe Willock coming to his left hand side, and then two up top. I think it's going to be more Callum Wilson stretching the play and allowing for Isak to come and get on the ball, because I think he's touched the ball maybe 5 or 6 times, had 2 shots, both hit the target, but he's not been in the game anywhere near enough for Newcastle to be successful.
As things stand, Newcastle are missing out on the Champions League with 20 minutes to go. Newcastle 0, Everton 1 at St James's Park, here on TalkSport 2. Odissigay does brilliantly, skips away, Beto helps him its way towards Alcaraz, but Dan Burn will step in and win it. But it's picked up by Garner, who gets there before Wilson. Room on the right hand side now for Harrison. Harrison, first time cross, just played in straight into the palms of Nick Pope away to our right hand side. It's excellent from Everton, and it's doing the job so far. Here's Tonali though, on the rampage, edge of the box. Tonali chance to shoot maybe, tries to clip it through. There's appeals for handball against, I think in the end it was O'Brien, and the ball is cleared away as far as the halfway line for Newcastle United. 71 minutes played. Everton lead by a goal to nil.
I don't think David Moyes will be happy with this basketball style of game, where if Everton go forward and turn the ball over as quickly as they are, leaving it stretched, you'd expect Newcastle to hit them on the counter in that situation.
The right hand side, Newcastle probing with Trippier just over halfway. Tonali, who has seemed to be everywhere in this game today for Newcastle United, driving in that midfield. Well, this is Barnes, 25 yards out, slips it in. Callum Wilson tries to get there. Again, it's O'Brien who's across with a challenge and puts it into touch on the far side to give Newcastle a throw. Level with the edge of the penalty area. On the right. And it's picked up short by Guimaraes. He has support. Cher's coming forward. Cher out wide again on the right hand side. Now what can Trippier deliver? That trusted right foot of his. He goes short. Guimaraes inside the box, and Njai is there with him. Tees it up. Chance for Barnes to shoot. Great block. Deflected, and it's kept in as it no, it's out of play on this near side for a corner to Newcastle. Their left hand side, and listen to the roar in St James's Park.
Better from Newcastle. Kieran Trippier turning down that cross, just plays it inside to Bruno Guimaraes again, pulls it back in one more time for Harvey Barnes. It looks like Newcastle are knocking at the door, but there's a wall of 8 or 9 Everton players that they're going to have to get through to score this goal.
Here's the corner down this left hand side, right footed. Trippier towards the back post. Isak on the volley, volleys it over the top of the crossbar and behind for a goal kick to Everton. It's currently Newcastle 0, Everton 1, and for the latest odds head to William Hill, the official betting partner of TalkSport 2's Premier League coverage, where right now you can get Newcastle to win 3-1, Everton 11-10. The draw is 9-5. That's all thanks to William Hill. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org. Menetzi with a goal for Wolves to square things up at Molineux. Wolves 1, Brentford 1. It doesn't change that position right now in terms of 8th in the Premier League, due to the fact that Brighton are beating Spurs at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, of course. the other crucial game right now in terms of Champions League places. Well, there's two of them, but Aston Villa have taken the lead against Manchester United. The 10 men of Aston Villa lead against Manchester United. There is a VAR check in play, but Aston Villa have taken the lead. I remember Chelsea lead against Forest as well, which is the reason that Newcastle currently are sitting in 6th spot. A second goal for Manchester City down at Craven Cottage. They will finish 3rd in the Premier League. Erling Haaland from the penalty spot for Manchester City. As Young goes in with a challenge. I notice he took that penalty. Haaland, he shies away from them nowadays.
Gave the ball away. Criminal.
Absolutely, and particularly when Pep said it was their decision. I was convinced it must have been the Gaffers, but no. Here's Pope to halfway. Guimaraes. There's no goal for Aston Villa. It's ruled out. VAR has ruled the goal out, and it is no goal, and a red card for Liverpool as well. Liverpool are down to 10 men against Crystal Palace. It looks like they're going to lose at home on the day they collect the trophy. So a reminder, it remains at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0. Goal ruled out for VAR, but Manchester United do have a man advantage. However, Villa holding on for a point as things stand, and it's a crucial point because it's a point that takes them back into the Champions League for next season. Time for a double change for Everton, and it's going to be the goal scorer Alcaraz, who's only on loan, of course, is Carlos Alcaraz, formerly of Southampton, of course, and Juventus. Second Premier League goal in his loan spell, and he is going to be coming off to be replaced by Abdoulaye Doucouré, and it will be for Doucouré his 166th appearance for the club, final one as well, and we're going to see McNeil come on as well, and McNeil is coming on and he's going to replace Iliman Ndiaye. So they're the two changes for Everton. Reminder, everything else that's going on elsewhere in the Premier League, the crucial games, of course, are the games between Fulham and Man City, where Man City lead by 2-0. It's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0. That game live still on Talk Sport right now. Villa are down to 10 men, have been for the entire second half, but the point that Villa have means that they're getting Champions League place. Or are they? Wilson tries to play the ball in. There's accusations of a handball against Michael Keane. It'll be a throw-in on this near side for Newcastle, who trail here by 1-0, and Forest 0, Chelsea 1. The crucial games right now in the Premier League with 14 minutes remaining. It means that Manchester City will be qualifying for the Champions League, as will Chelsea and as will Aston Villa as things stand. But there is a goal in the game at Old Trafford. It's Manchester United that have scored. Manchester United 1, Aston Villa 0, and that changes the complexion once more, of course, because that would mean on goal difference that Aston Villa would lose out, and it will be Newcastle who get the Champions League place. What an afternoon it is. But it's Manchester United. They lead against the 10 men of Aston Villa. Ahmad, the goal scorer. Of course, it comes just minutes after Villa had a goal disallowed by VAR. What an afternoon of drama in the Premier League. That game live right now on Talk Sport.
And I think the news is just filtering through here. Look, everyone's getting the news that Man United have scored. Try to let this is the one that the players know what's happening now. They need to pick it up, and Newcastle need at least a shot on target in the second half.
Get yourself the TalkSport app if you don't have it right now. You can flick between our 7 live games this afternoon and keep on top of all the action and the drama as things stand right here. 78 minutes almost played. Newcastle 0, Everton 1. But at this moment in time, because Forest are losing and because Aston Villa are losing, they will sneak into the Champions League after a poor performance, but maybe they can rectify that. Left-footed shot from Cher from 25 yards out is blocked. Comes down Tonali. Tonali out wide to this left-hand side. Ball picked up by Livramento on his right foot. Livramento swings it towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's taken down by Trippier. Here he is on this right-hand side. Trippier's ball through is good. Guimaraes inside the box. Left-footed, right-footed ball. Curled over. O'Brien with the header away again. Taken down by Trippier once more. Guimaraes picks up the loose ball. 30 yards from goal. He's got Tonali to his left. Out wide is Livramento again. It comes to Livramento. Closed down by Jack Harrison. Runs the ball down towards the byline. And Ashley Young is there and he'll pick it up for Everton and gets it up towards Beto. Well, Dan Burn was there and did well across Beto, just with his physical presence, and it allows Trippier to pick the ball up for Newcastle, who, despite losing, are going into the Champions League. Here's Wilson, Isak, and he just stabs that out to the far side, where Dwight McNeil, the substitute, will pick it up for Everton from deep inside their own half. David Moyes' side leading here by 1-0. Remember many years ago when the title was won by Blackburn, and I think it was West Ham that beat Manchester United, and Alex Ferguson called it an obscene amount of effort. But I think that's what we're getting from Everton today, for sure.
Absolutely, but I think as well, Newcastle played a part in this. Have been really poor today. One of their worst team performances of the season. Maybe they're expecting it. Oi!
Well, Beto's tried to get the ball and has run into Tyndall on this near side, but has got there first. Just a little bit of... and David Moyes is furious that Beto's come to get the ball and has been interfered with. Absolutely hammering the fourth official right now, who's telling him, I can lip read. He's telling him to relax. I suspect there's a bit of finger pointing from David Moyes. Wouldn't surprise me if there's a yellow card coming his way in a few minutes.
I think what David's getting very frustrated is that Dan Burn is literally just running into Beto, and he's not trying to play the ball, and every time the ref's playing on it, he needs to give him a foul at some point.
Isak down this left-hand side, right-footed ball swung towards the back post. Wilson was there. It was a little shove maybe, but they've got it clear only as far though as Cher is going to hit one from 25 yards out. And what a fizzer that was, just wide of the right-hand post of Jordan Pickford. They're saying it should be a corner, but Tony Harrington says it is a goal kick away to our left-hand side, and that's all. David Moyes continuing to go, the assistant involved as well on this near side too, and here is Tony Harrington and the yellow card for David Moyes, who is continuing now to argue with Tony Harrington. He said, one more and I'll send you off. We knew it was coming.
I do find it interesting with the fourth officials, and this is where they've got to get better. So he's telling Billy McKinley and Leighton Baines now to sit down, because you can't have more than one standing up. For the whole of this game, there's been two standing up in the Newcastle technical area the whole way through. So I think the frustration from Everton is more that it's been given one way and not the other.
Wilson helps it on to Barnes. Barnes tries to skip through. It's a challenge from Mikalenko. I think he's going to get a yellow card as well here. 25 yards out. Barnes was just about to take that in his stride and smuggle through. It is a free kick for Newcastle. 25 yards out. Mikalenko, the latest player, booked, and another yellow card for kicking the ball away, I think, for Ghana. And
ref's got to get hold of the game a little bit now, as he's letting the Newcastle fan base take over this game.
Since you praised him, it's all gone a bit wrong for him.
This is why I'm never nice to him. Never nice to him. Just the last couple of minutes, though, haven't they? They've let it go.
A bit of the Villa goal. Apparently very harsh, disallowed. Morgan Rogers the ball out of his hands, the keeper. Stuart Pearce over on TalkSport said he had no idea why that goal was disallowed. But there we go. Liverpool have equalised. Mo Salah, of course, Mo Salah. They've got 10 men. He pops up with an equaliser against Crystal Palace. So, as things stand in the Premier League, Newcastle are in 5th place, despite losing this game by 1-0. And we are into the last 8 minutes. A reminder, Villa trail Manchester United. They're down to 10 men. They had a goal disallowed quite harshly, but they trail Manchester United by 1-0. And Forest trail at home against Chelsea as well.
If this goes in, this roof comes straight off this place.
Trippier with a free kick, right footed, and it's not far wide of Pickford's left hand upright. Everyone was stood still, even Jordan Pickford. No one was moving as Trippier's effort goes wide. Just how wide, Jordan?
Yeah, it just looks like it's a yard or two wide, but he got the shape, the dip, just couldn't get the accuracy on it. But it's very nervous St James's Park, isn't it, at this moment in time?
Yeah, it certainly is. The fact is they're losing and they're still qualifying as things stand. All it would take, though, is an equaliser from the 10 men of Aston Villa to change all of that, of course. So here's the table as it stands. Man City are 3rd, 71. Chelsea 4th, 69. Newcastle 5th, 66. Aston Villa in 6th place, 66. Forest on 65 in 7th. But Newcastle have the better goal difference of those three teams. So at the moment, they cling on to that place in the Champions League. We have 6.5, 7 minutes remaining here the drama. Well, you could cut it with a knife, they say, the tension, but I think it's deeper than that. They're very nervous all around us here, the Geordies. There's no two ways about it. They look like they're going to potentially lose at home, which is something that doesn't happen too often. Livramento tees it up for Tonali on his right foot, thinks about a shot, feints for the shot, gives it to Guimaraes. Saka's gone down in the penalty area as it's on the far side with Trippier. Guimaraes is the obvious pass. Tonali makes the run towards the edge of the penalty area. David Moyes thinking of making some changes as that's clipped forward towards Tonali again. Doucouré's there to hammer the ball clear up towards halfway. Beto does well. Adrissagay on that far side is closed down by Dan Burn.
Yeah, look, just watching it now again. Got three Newcastle staff down there at the moment. But what's happening is they're leaving Beto and Dan Burn 1v1, but they're getting loads of bodies in the box. But everyone's going inside. They need whip. They need to be able to work the ball wide to then get those crosses in. Everton are giving up the whip, saying go on, then cross the ball. But Newcastle coming inside and everything's a little bit too slow. It's got to be perfect for them to score.
Share to the far side.
Ooh.
The header comes from Trippier inside the penalty area. He feels he was fouled in the process. It comes down to Barnes. It was the challenge from McNeil. Tonali whips it towards the back post and then arriving as Guimaraes with a header. There's a foul and it will be a free kick for Everton inside their own penalty area. Listening to Newcastle against Everton on TalkSport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whether you're on holiday, at home or away this summer, Enterprise has locations all over Europe and a vehicle that's just right for you. 5 minutes to go. Newcastle 0, Everton 1. Troy Deeney.
Yeah, just Jordan Pickford. He can wind up opposition fans, but I'm just seeing him. He's screaming every time something happens. It's always somebody else's fault with Jordan Pickford, and he's screaming at Doucouré, who's at the 10, for something that happened at the back post, and Doucouré's giving him a little bit back, and then Jordan Pickford goes, yeah, no problem, and he just winds up people for no apparent reason. But for Newcastle again, more the same. Looks like Osalu coming on now as well for their final change. Another attacker, but I don't think it's the attackers that's the problem. I think it's the fact that there's no quality coming into the box and everyone's just up on his top line way too early. As we look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 on that top line.
And it's Livramento they pick out on the left-hand edge of the penalty area, but he heads the ball safely into the arms of Pickford. Brighton have gone 3-1 up against Spurs. They're going to be finishing 8th in the Premier League. Arsenal have a winner, you feel, at Southampton, courtesy of Martin Odegaard. They lead by 2-1, and West Ham now lead Ipswich by 3-1, and Semenyo has got a second for Bournemouth, who lead Leicester by 2-0. That's given away. Beto towards the edge of the penalty area. Beto with a chance on his left foot. And he's put it wide. He only had Pope to beat, and Beto's effort just sails beyond his right hand upright. That would have finished the game and given Everton all 3 points.
Yeah, mistake for Dan Burn, but it's closer than you think. He's pulled onto that right foot, chopped it back inside there. Lovely little left-footed ball into the far corner, just goes past the post and hits that black pole's just behind it. But again, Newcastle just kick it out of play. And as we're watching Jordan Pickford just winding up all the fan base, look.
He is. They've won their last 6 at home here of Newcastle United in the Premier League. There is a penalty for Manchester United. The jeopardy could be about to end for Newcastle potentially, certainly from the threat of Aston Villa. Manchester United with a penalty. They already lead by 1-0. That game live right now over on TalkSport, and it's been scored. It's Manchester United 2, Aston Villa 0. Christian Eriksen with the penalty for Manchester United, and that means Aston Villa's hopes of a place in the Champions League you feel done and dusted. Harvey Barnes is coming on here. Osula's coming on. Beto's gone off as well. Calvert-Lewin's coming on, and as you can hear, word of that goal for Manchester United has filtered its way around St James's Park.
Unbelievable that they're celebrating losing.
Well, it's still Forest 0, Chelsea 1. That game, like ours here, into the final few minutes as well. But it looks like, by the skin of their teeth, Newcastle are going to get into the Champions League. And, I mean, we'd probably all say they deserve it.
Yeah. At this moment in time, they won't care as long as it's job done. But this is not a game how you want to end as well, with this level of performance. It's there's a lot of question marks about what they'll need to do going forward. But for Everton, this is the opposite. It's so much to look forward to. New stadium, David Moyes is back, loads of new players to come in from a fan perspective. But if they keep playing like this and not only have the structure that they do without the ball, but with the ball they've been excellent, they could add a bit more quality going forward. They could be pushing into the top 10, top 8 places easily.
That big 52-seater stadium awaits as well, as soon as I at the edge of the box, it's Cher across the face of goal, and nobody can quite get there. And it spins behind for what will be a goal kick to Everton. All it needed was the simplest of touches as Cher drove it across that 6-yard box, but no one was available, no one there to poke it home.
I don't think it's a good ball. I think it's a poor ball from Cher. Too much power. The line's great. He's whipped it across that 6-yard box, but just fired it across, not giving any of his attackers an opportunity to get there. But good start from Osalu as well, getting there and making forward, gives it into Isak. As I said, just a little bit more quality, and they would be in there. But
And I think they're all on their feet around St James's Park, particularly behind that goal. Jordan Pickford, the Sunderland supporter, will be trying to keep a clean sheet. You can bet as he palms that one away, just got his fingertips on that, and it's out for what will be another corner, this time on the Newcastle right. Tonali's gone across, but Bruno Gimenez is taking this one on. We are a minute into the 6 added here on TalkSport 2. Newcastle 0, Everton 1. Gimenez gets it over, looking for Isak, comes out towards Tonali, and now the counter's on, and it's McNeil, and Doucouré is bursting down the middle. Gay has it, challenge from Tonali. Gay does well to hold it up. Newcastle win it back with Tonali, and now the counter's on for the home side, and the black and white shirts flood forward. Tonali clips it forward. Cher has gone up in an advanced position still and is penalised for the foul this time on O'Brien, and it will be a free kick for Everton at the edge of their penalty area.
Yeah, it's poor from Everton though. They do a wonderful counter-attack. You've got Doucouré running through the middle. Right, McNeil just needs to put him away and let him go 1v1 with Pope. Decides to go left, they lose the ball. Newcastle win it back, and Tonali driving forward, bursting forward. He's got some engine on him, that boy, by the way. And then that's a little bit of quality. Poor ball up to Shaw. And it's a good defending from O'Brien.
It's finished 1-1 between Liverpool and Palace. Liverpool obviously will get the trophy in the next half an hour, so you'll hear that over on TalkSport, the big trophy lift from Anfield. It's now 4-1 to Brighton over Tottenham. I mean, the goal's flying in. Gomez has scored as well. Hinshelwood joining the goal from O'Reilly, so a good victory for Fabian Hurst's side that will give them 8th spot and potentially a place in the Conference League next season. It's with Tonali. To the right he goes and finds Trippier. Just over 3 minutes remaining here at St James's Park. Everton lead by a goal to nil on TalkSport 2, the final afternoon of the Premier League. Here's Isak. Isak to Gimenez. Gimenez just tries to play it through. Garner gets there first. Calvert-Lewin with a touch. He now goes forward, but Garner's got it on that far side, skips past the challenge of Gimenez. Infield to McNeil, and Harrison's making a great run down the right-hand side. It comes to Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin with a chance. Safe by the body of Pope, and then it comes back to Calvert-Lewin on the half volley, and he puts it over the bar.
you feel for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So many injuries, but that's the reason why he's not got on to have the career he's had. 1v1, it's a wonderful ball into for Dwight McNeil. His first touch takes away from Dan Burn. He's in the box. 1v1, just blasts it straight at Nick Pope. Nick Pope didn't dive, he just hit him in the chest. Comes back to him on the rebound, puts it over the bar. Ugly. Never looks like he's going to score, does he, anymore, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Lovely kid, but you need a little bit more at this level, and I just think the injuries have killed him.
As soon as ball across, snapped by Cher, edge of the 6-yard box, and he's put it wide. Just stuck his right boot out, and surely it would have been easier to score, but he's put it to the left of Jordan Pickford's left-hand post and behind for a goal kick.
That Sula's a handful as well, isn't it? It is, come on, step overs, fires it across the box. Again, we said Cher's been their best attacking option. You would have preferred that. They've got 3 strikers on the pitch. It falls to a centre-back and he just can't adjust his feet. Should score.
West Ham have beaten Ipswich 3-1. Arsenal have beaten Southampton 2-1. We still play in the 4 games affecting those Champions League places. Reminder, Man City are 2 up. Manchester United beating Villa 2-0. Forest are training at home against Chelsea. All of it means that it's going to be Manchester City, Chelsea and Newcastle in the Champions League next season. And talking of Newcastle, they're on the attack here. Guimaraes, edge of the penalty area, picks his spot and Pickford tips it over with an excellent save. It was clever from Guimaraes, but even cleverer from Jordan Pickford.
Just watching Nick Pope asking whether he can go up, and then I've just seen the quickest movement from Eddie Howe to say no chance, stay yourself back there.
He is on halfway. Well, they know a goal is not crucial to them right now, and it's going to be a corner was taken quickly and nothing's come from it. Pope has now retreated.
Last minute of this I've added on time, and this is probably going to be the loudest cheer for a 1-0 loss at St James's Park in the history of St James's Park.
I think it certainly will. Champions League football beckons, and they know it all around us here. The black and white celebrations will begin. Tonali clips the ball forward. What a season it's been for them all in all. Young will hack it into touch on this near side. It's going to be a throw on this near touchline. Livramento gets it from Tonali. There's 2 balls on the pitch. Referee's happy to play on, which Burn does. It's finished between Fulham and Man City. It's finished 2-0 to Manchester City. They finished 3rd in the Premier League. Trippier to the right. He's got Guimaraes there with him. On that far touchline, Asula. Ball at feet. Turns. Out wide again to Trippier. Back to Asula. He's got 2 round him. Slips it down the line for Guimaraes. And there's the final whistle from Tony Harrington. And Newcastle United have been beaten on the day. But a season where they won their first domestic trophy in 70 years also ends with a place in the Champions League by the skin of their teeth. A win today would have done it in style. The players look bemused as Harvey Barnes comes on to tell them, and unless there's a late goal in the game between Forest and Chelsea, but that wouldn't impact it either. This victory for Everton has put a dampener on the day, but still Newcastle United will be heading to Europe's top table once more next season for the 2nd time in 3 years. Troy Deeney.
Yeah, it's really funny watching, because no one's told Shah yet, because he's down on his knees. Looks like he's about to cry, but Harvey Barnes has just gone across to him to let them all know. It's a really subdued atmosphere here. You've got the Everton fans away to our left celebrating because they're so happy, and now everyone's just been told here all of the scores, and now everyone's got into this party atmosphere because they've realised that they're still in the Champions League. But really poor performance from Newcastle, but the atmosphere will show now, and they're just about to realise that Chelsea are beating Forest as well.
Yeah, there is an element of confusion, I think, until the full-time score comes through from the City ground. It's been flashed up, the latest score in the game between Manchester United and Villa, of course, as being 2-0, which they know is so crucial here for Newcastle and their place in the Champions League. It's not quite delirium from the players. Some of the supporters around, it is. Everyone is gathered on the pitch away to our left-hand side in preparation, I think, as they wait final confirmation that all of those full-time whistles have gone elsewhere, and that will be the moment, of course, that there will be real celebrations from these Newcastle players, the Newcastle bench, and from the supporters around us once there's confirmation that those two games have finished, in the game between Manchester United and Villa, of course, and the game between Forest and Chelsea. In fact, Man United Villa, which was live over on TalkSport, is finished, and it's finished Manchester United 2, Aston Villa 0. So they're now waiting for the confirmation. I think it's coming to the players, and at this point the celebrations can begin. A terrific season, as we say. It's a dream double for Newcastle United, a first domestic trophy in 70 years, and a place back in the Champions League for Eddie Howe and his side. They may have lost on the day, but it's going to be European football returning here to St James's Park. Full time, it's finished Newcastle 0, Everton 1.